Welcome back, YouTube. MTG Joe here. We are playing the early access event for Wilds of Eldraine, which is here on Arena, coming on Tuesday. Thanks to Wizards, I get access to the set a little bit early. So we are going to be trying out a bunch of decks, trying to showcase some cards. And the deck we're going to bring you today in Standard Best of 1 is a Sultai green, black, blue self-mill deck. So with the new set, we got Adventures, and one of the cards we got was Cruel Somnophage. So for 2, I Can't Wake Up, Amy Lee from Evanescence is singing this repeatedly. You get to mill 4 cards, you or target player. So you're going to mill yourself. And then the Cruel Somnophage, power toughness is equal to creature cards in all graveyards. We also have Lhurgoyf, which counts all your graveyards. So number of creatures in your graveyard, so it gets big too. So just some big dumb idiots. In terms of stuff in the graveyard, we have Slogurk, which we can get counters on it when lands go into the graveyard, and then kind of tricky things with lands to return it to our hand, and we get to return lands to our hand, so a whole bunch of kind of value there. Blossoming Tortoise is another card from the new set, 4 mana, 3/3, enters the battlefield or attacks, mills 3 cards, return a land from your graveyard to the battlefield. So this is kind of a way to fill your graveyard and then ramp you. Activated abilities of lands cost 1 less, so Mirrex costs 1 less. The new creature land, Restless Cottage, costs 1 less. So it would be 3 mana to activate. We get a 4/4 black-green horror creature till on the turn. When it attacks, you create a food token. So kind of a strategy there that we can look at. Then we have Faerie Dreamthief. It's a 1 mana, 1/1 surveil, so we can put cards into our graveyard, and then we can also just exile it from our graveyard to draw a card later in the game. Deathbonnet repeatedly puts a card into our graveyard at the beginning of upkeep, and then can flip and then become a big chunky spore. Blanchwood Prowler mills and then helps us find lands. Titania cares about lands in graveyard, and then we also have Argoth Sanctum, so maybe we're milled in, we'll see, but it's more just kind of the incidental mill that we care about. Wrenn lets us reanimate, also the land creatures get a bonus from the tortoise. Old Rutstein is another way to mill and get some value. Tyvar mills and lets us reanimate some of these creatures. And then Croaking Counterpart lets us cast copies. And this is something we can mill over as well, which is good. And notably, it becomes a 1/1, but this is then stats. So this adds on. So it actually gets bigger than what its normal version would be. So we will give it a go, see how it is. We've been trying out a bunch of different decks today. Fairies should be live on YouTube already. The others will cut up. I'm going to close my blinds because I am blinded. So we have new set here. Trying out things. Okay, CGB again. He was playing blue-white earlier. The deck was very, 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 very oppressive. So let's see what we do here. Let's go Cottage. Life of Toshiro. Hey, Wild Nerd. I'm gonna decline so Toshiro doesn't get the value. I don't really need lands the way my hand's filled. Okay, we got... So getting some value there. So I can do this. I can do Deathbonnet, which also seems pretty decent. This is sorcery speed. So we see kind of the value with the fairy being milled over. How's it going? So probably a bargain deck. Oh wow, Shieldred, how fun. So here... let's probably just bring out the chunkers. I could mill next turn, but I think we just gotta present some big bodies. So this is beginning of your upkeep. You may exile a card from a graveyard. Creature, you put a 1/1 counter. So the thing is, the Wicked rule makes base. Oh, so this makes it 1 bigger. Not terrible, because like I can rebuy them with the Wrenn as well, so I can attack in with both of these, hopefully trade. They're probably like Beseech for... If this is Obliterator, then I just lose. Could get a removal spell, but... So... Makes it a 6 power. Probably want to start getting some pressure on it. So my choices here, this has Menace or no? I think my line's going to be slightly different. If they block with Sheoldred, then I was going to Wrenn. But since they didn't, then I'll do this. So now like I could counterpart. Okay, so we can turtle power. So I can turtle here, I could Wrenn. Turtle puts more cards. Wrenn lets me buy back. Which I don't think I actually want to buy back. So we can put the cottage into play. I think I still do this. I'm going to hold the land in hand. I'll just pass the turn here. Counterpart can make a tortoise. This also becomes a 5/5. Malicious Malfunction's not going to do too much, so that looks like Beseech. Beseech could get another copy of Sheoldred. Could just get a removal spell. Wow. That was disgusting. I think we still do this. Like, I understand Liliana can minus here, but then we're basically in top deck. And I have access to Tyvar. So now I get to draw a card. Turtle's really good. And then I'll get the Mirrex. So I think here, just present a big body, because I have them lethal with the Restless Cottage. So they need a sweeper here. Talk about top deck, because they get rest. Do they just not have the prank? Okay, at least let me... oh, they didn't have the base clicked. They should have let me play it out. I let him play it out when he was on control to demo the deck. Okay, that felt pretty sweet. Pretty good start. Having like that density of big dumb creatures. Because they edict us, they in the ended us, they... So we go Blanchwood into Cruel or maybe Realmbreaker. Thanks, folks. We might want a second Takanuma, to be honest. We'll have to see how... Okay, so we have Argoth. Argoth is my second green that I need for Turtle. You don't do what I need you to do right now. So you're a 1/2. Let's just play this out. I thought I had blue mana. That was a little bit of a mistake on my end. Okay, so it enters the battlefield, you put a monster roll token attached to it, sacrifice an aura, fights target creature you don't control, that creature would die, exile it instead. Currently don't have any lands in my graveyard. So I think we just do like these setup turns. Because next turn I can get my Tortoise, and then I could eventually set up Wrenn where I can mill and reanimate one of these idiots. Milling Tyvar is not great. Pretty decent stats. 4 mana, 5/5 trample with the ability to fight. Notably though, when you remove the counter... Okay, so they're like flinging me. So here I'm just not going to give them the option to fling, because they would fight. And like I can get my stuff back. Okay, so they cut down there. That actually doesn't do anything. But thanks for playing. Sorry, friend. Do we have another blue land? Restless Cottage it is. Here's my 9/9, yo. Then I can do Wrenn, get back a Lhurgoyf, and then... So all my Goyfs are in my grave. And then Fairy Seer. Do you have Titania? Why would you tap that way? So we'll gain a bunch of life. Get some lands. So they can block, sack, and then kill my fairy if they want. It's taking the damage. We should see about creatures that put monster roll tokens. Oh, that's so bad. The way it tapped, now I can't cast Wrenn. Remove 3 counters. I haven't played a Slogurk yet. So they could sack a creature. So they're probably trying to fling like Rankle. We got Omnix. So I could Wrenn. I think we're just going to keep putting pressure on them. Doing this now so that they don't know what line I want to take. Oh, we can meld next turn. How does this meld? At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 more lands in your graveyard and you both own... How many lands are in my graveyard? 1, 2, 3... Okay, so we're going to meld next turn. I guess it has literally the counter on it. So I can remove 3 counters, return it to my hand. When it returns, turn up to 3 lands from your graveyard. So kind of cool thing there. They're going to do this. They're going to gain some life, but I'm just getting a ton of life, and now I'm going to meld. No! Let me do my thing. I wanted to meld Titania. All these opponents hate fun. All right, let's go again. MTG Brew Lab, another content creator. I want this blue land. I think we're doing this still. What's this do? They make rats on their upkeep. It's like it's Slogurk. Get Titania. It's probably Slogurk Titania. Let's try this. Getting our butts kicked. What's letting the exile? Oh my god. That probably makes sense. What's kicking my ass? So the deck that has main board Graveyard Hate against me is not going to be a good time. Yeah, I can't do anything when they're eating my graveyard. Alright, Lord Skitter can screw off. I want to put cards in my graveyard, not have them all eaten. Maybe if Titania's stuck, we could gain some life, but opponent had a really good start, and our start was a little clunky. And then just incidentally also having the Graveyard Hate. I think we're doing that. Really need a land here. I said I really need a land here. Needed it for Rusty there. Stop milling all my... Oh, my, this is not for your land. Okay. I somehow milled like every land and no creatures, which is kind of frustrating. Ah. So fun of you to play all these new cards. Let's get back Relentless Cottage. Okay, so these will flip next turn at least. People have been hyping up this card. I think it's garbage. Like, it's... Doesn't have haste, you have to take life, it doesn't reduce colorless spells. So I think here... We play Slogurk. So I can attack in, but I think we just wait this turn. How big are my dummies? 6/6s? Maybe should have attacked in with Turtle. Just get me another land. But next turn, my hand's looking pretty good. I can do this to mill. Cool. 1, 2, 3. I will gladly take that. I'm literally playing like no new cards. So they can get a Cruel Somnophage out of me. So do this. Problem is I don't have like an answer to any of these. They're at 34. I just have no answer to it. I'm supposed to be like the aggro deck, but if they take my big dummies, I'm somewhat limited. And then compound that with the fact I'm just not going to be able to push through Sheoldred here. And then mine are always going to be somewhat smaller because of Toxrill. So I'll just take the damage for that here. Like this deck doesn't function if like Sheoldred's not out. So then you're so contingent on Sheoldred, like to play all these bad spells. Like playing 4 mana, draw 3, lose 3. We don't have a way to win this. We're a pretty linear aggro deck. The problem is, like, Toxrill's gonna stop my go wide, and then they have the flyers. And a surprise to no one, Sheoldred is still the worst card that there is in Standard in terms of enjoyability of play. Pretty much none of my decisions mattered at that point because it just sits there, gains them life, and punishes me for doing simple game actions. We'll give this one more, and then we'll try probably see what mono red looks like next. Give that a feel. And looks good. So we'll go Dreamthief, and then we go Sloggy. We want to hit another land. So could be on like, oh my god, are we really playing against all the graveyard hate decks? Thank you. I think we go Cottage here, kind of forces them into a block. Archfiend of Truce. Create a token copy. So I can go Slogurk. I can go Turtle McGirdle. So here, I think we're just passing the turn. I can create another turtle. We can probably chump for enough turns. So probably each you. Okay, that's good as well. So Slogurk. And then we'll do this. Get some counters. So I'm going to keep Titania back. So here they need to decide if they want their Trespasser. So we're definitely keeping Argoth. Okay, so they get the Grasp here. Let's get another Restless Cottage. Okay, so they need to do something for next turn. The Lilianas could come down, but Liliana will just kill a turtle. And then they're kind of dead on the snapback. So we're like kind of doing the thing if we get like enough of a start, which is generally pretty good. So they could have like another removal spell here, but I just get a bunch of lands back. Each player sacks 2 creatures. So they almost killed me. The control version? Matthew? Smorks! Alrighty. I like this deck. This deck was actually... I thought it would be garbage. We lost a couple games, but I don't think in this type of deck you can have removal, necessarily. So then it's a little tough. Like, you're kind of playing to your outs. The Titania was fine. Rusty was fine. Like, this package felt good. Slogurk, we can probably get rid of this, and then probably play maybe some sort of removal. Like, maybe, because you don't really want Liliana. Is there anything, like, if there's something to do with a lot of mana, like the Goose might be okay. Draws you some cards, but all in all, the deck was pretty solid.